Yo, let's talk about this anti-homeless and crime Instagram about Burlington. So I was chilling in my dining room and this video of two dudes fighting hit my algorithm from an account called Burlington Looks Like Shit. As a white trash dude who grew up watching World Star fights and 4chan beheadings as a preteen, I felt inclined to rubberneck some raw shit going down in my town. But as I started doom scrolling the account for loud obnoxious folks to validate my civilized existence, it was mostly just posts upset about trash and homeless folk. It wasn't quite the brain rot my escapism was seeking. But when I saw each post was user submitted, I thought, hold up, do we now have an uncensored page of what's actually happening? Because honestly, the concept of that was kind of cool. Target audience, I'm him. And putting aside whether the voyeuristic content or comedy was morally exploitative or justified, I was more focused on the account's awareness functionality. For me, as a local who's downtown daily. So, like a normal person, I spent 2 hours cataloging all 266 posts into a category pie chart to see how effective a tool it was. But as I was combing posts to find my high school bullies, most of the posts, and I literally mean most, were just trash, discarding needles, and graffiti. Okay? Already aware of this shit for years thanks to these every day. 1,000 daily Reddit posts. And local news outlets cover this shit ad nauseum when they're not engagement baiting old people with brain rot toddler coded posts to avoid their inevitable demise. Holy shit. Although, I hadn't seen trash this cluttered on my daily trips downtown. Maybe I'm missing it on my walking route. Weird. There actually weren't many crime posts, as 65% were focused on just the houseless, either sleeping, hanging out, pissing, shitting, or doing drugs in public, with a majority cataloging the fentanyl tranked zombie pose set to 2000s bling era hip hop. Again, news, Reddit eyes seen it, but hadn't come across its frequency downtown as it appeared to be happening from this account. Weird. Again. Besides some AI art blaming liberal politicians, weird. These are submissions? 26% was actually about crime. And while a tiny amount were attempting to help find stolen goods, it sucks shit compared to post rates on Reddit and Facebook groups. Weird. I'd figured it'd be more of a focus since petty crimes are up. Besides some footage of arrests with unclear, unhelpful captions, there was also a small amount of news article screenshots. But Reddit posted them faster, more frequently, with links, and I followed the news sources. Weird. These aren't submissions, are they? But the bulk of the crime posts were low-res Android type pics of poor people looking sketch, where most had unhelpful captions of assumptions wondering if they are committing crimes. And that was all the content. So I sat and thought to myself, this page fucking sucks. As a submission page and tool for me to use, it's so weird. That's when something clicked. It was the 6th time I'd said that. But then my little gremlin brain got distracted by other reels, including one of a low-budget commercial that Tekashi69, a known sexual abuser, did for a sex shop in West Nyack, where he claims the sex shop cured him of his misogyny.
Thanks to Romantic Depot, I now know how to treat women with dignity and respect.
Help stop violence against women.
That's when I realized it was 1 p.m. and I was a piece of shit with low blood sugar. So I decided to put on some real people clothes and venture for some food. As I traversed through the fucking litter hellscape left by college kids with no accountability moving out for the summer, I thought, man, Burlington looks like shit. Oh yeah, so why was a public submission page so weird and lackluster that I was saying the fucking toxic cesspool Reddit was more efficient, which made me search captions to dissect user stories submitted, but they weren't really there. It was mostly just the jokes, assumptions, or right-leaning personal opinions of the page's admin. And while some of the posts are visually self-explanatory, the few that seemed to have user testimonies read more like assumptions from a 6-second passerby. Well, that's just the unhelpful nature of user-submitted posts, right? But there were no disclaimers, sources, or signs of moderation, mostly just the admin's own confidence. Noticing many of my respected mutuals made up their impressive 28,000 followers, I thought maybe I was missing something. But that's when my 2 brain cells clicked. Why I kept saying weird. It's curated in a specific way by somebody. Missing info on crimes replaced with personal opinions, non-submitted AI posts and selective articles, the nature of the jokes paired with conservative commentary, why its more utility posts were so few, but its trash and zombie posts were more frequent. That's why it lacked behind compared to the free forum of Reddit and Facebook. This shit had biased selective framing from one individual written all over it. That's why this tool fucking sucked. So after explaining what a U-Haul lesbian was to Jake at Vivid, I thought, well, maybe it's at least raising public awareness by influencing positive change under its selective framing. That's when I remembered how fucking toxic the discourse was on the subreddit. And that platform had an equal balance of liberal and conservative blame, plus it didn't have an admin's bias guiding your submissions. So I wondered, what's it like under just a conservative with an audience cultivated through their selective framing? Well, as I ventured into the comments, the majority of what I discovered was a growing community of, well, hate. Besides a few defending the houseless as a symptom of a bigger issue, people on the left and right were directing their frustration towards houseless folk and alleged criminals, parroting the admin's captions by blaming them for ruining Burlington, saying they should be publicly shamed. And you know what? I understood their frustrations. No one here is happy with the current state of downtown, but I wondered, how effective of a tool is public shaming folks online who are already fucked up doing this type of shit in public, consumed by their own worlds? As someone whose own father was one of these people, I personally knew most don't give a fuck, and it doesn't influence most to do shit. They aren't white-collar chuckle fucks from a cidery who have something to lose. So the account shaming angle seemed largely pointless to me, though other comments were blaming liberal politicians, which at least felt a little more in the right direction. All politicians. Besides complaints into the void, folks making fun of homeless, and vows of never coming to Burlington again, that was pretty much it for its public awareness. I guess this could influence Burlingtonians to vote different, but oh yeah, wondering if these comments were mostly from locals. Again, since I'm a normal person, I started checking bios, geocaches, and cross-referencing names with Facebook and LinkedIn profiles, and discovered that 70% of the 140 comments I checked were from folks who don't even live near here. Did they come here often? Did they work here? Or was this curation visually their only real exposure to the real Burlington? That made me realize I needed to expose my hungry ass to some fried chicken. So after a quick visit explaining what a lipstick lesbian is to my Uncle Wayne and my cousin Mike at Burlington Collision, I walked my ass over to Harmony's Kitchen, which is today's sponsor. Growing up as a white trash Vermonter, I only had Shaw's rotisserie chicken. And while that shit fucking slaps, McCormick, you know what I'm talking about. Harmony's local team has exposed me to some real ass soul food.
Every Sunday I have my Soul Food Sundays right here at the O'Brien Center in Winooski.
I'm so fucking hungry. Are you saying the words right now? Pre-order then pick up? Boom. Lazy gang like me? Boom.
We serve the best fried chicken and best mac and cheese in the state, so come check us out and see for yourself.
Harmony's Kitchen. I'd rather have Shaw's Rotisserie. Bernie Sanders, 2024. That's crazy you said that. My exposure to authentic soul food got me thinking. If I was used to my bumfuck Vermont life in Plainfield or fucking Orwell, wherever the fuck that is, and only viewed recent Burlington through the news' rage bait cycle, but mainly this account's selective framing, I think it's fucking Southside Chicago. Which at the moment, it's not quite like that. And while there clearly is egregious shit happening, I felt like this account somewhat exacerbated a small section of Burlington as its entirety, partially through its selective framing, conservative overtones, and its constant concentrated churn of only negative content. And again, for the fucking ding-dongs, I'm not denying there's messed up shit happening. And I literally see this shit more than most every day, because this isn't a dining room. This is my new studio downtown that you helped me get. And I just want to thank you all. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. Selective framing, bitches. Like and subscribe. So I wondered if the admin was aware of the potential danger their biased, negative churn content lacking in info was growing through its frustrated community. What's even their goal with running a submission account like this? Why be anonymous with these opinions? Do they even live here? So again, like an average, plain, regular person, I hired a private investigator with my Patreon sub money to identify 2 accounts. Oh yeah, there was another account named Miro Divergence, focused more on liberal politicians, but for some reason, they deleted their account the day I announced this video was happening. Don't know what happened there. But as my PI gave me the info the next day, I decided to slow down my Spectrum shit and just simply message the account for answers from their side of things. And surprisingly, he agreed, but only through email anonymously. So for the sake of my video's continuity, I invited my friend and local comedian Liam Welsh to read the answers of a right-leaning libertarian male. And although he does read their email line for line unchanged, to the admin, I'm sorry you can't control how I might or might not accurately frame you here. I mean, is the homeless guy sleeping in view so he's less likely to be fucked with? Or is he high on drugs after stealing shit? I don't know. Will the anonymous guy appear uneducated? Or will he make sense? Whatever fits my narrative, goal of my content, and engages my audience. Right? I can't believe someone would do that. Selective framing, bitches. Like and subscribe. But I think I did it accurately. Let's go, Liam. So what inspired you to start this account?
I mean, this account started as a joke. I walked into Burlington one day, said, man, this place looks like shit. Copied Seattle looks like shit's name, and here we are.
You know, I thought this seemed familiar as I suddenly remembered years ago Pacific homeless folk being attacked due to that account posting them. What do you think of the frustration towards houseless folk growing in your comments?
Frustrations with homeless people in the comments. I don't know.
Have you had friends or family members that are homeless, drug addicts, or criminals?
Yes, I've had personal experiences with felons and drug addicts.
No mention of the homeless though, which primarily made up 65% of the account's focus. Are any of your more serious posts fact-checked?
Everything that's posted is submitted. No, I don't fact check it. It's the internet. I just post it and let people riot in the comments. People are wild. I'm not a news outlet. I'm an Instagram account that started as a joke and grew into almost 28,000 followers.
Do you currently live in Burlington?
Born and raised in Vermont. But no, I don't currently live in Burlington.
That's why this shit seems slightly misrepresented to me. Any reason you run it anonymously?
It started anonymously and will continue to run anonymously.
Huh. I had no problem showing my face when adding personal opinions to post. Weird.
People can riot in the comments about it. I want nothing more than Burlington to revive and fix itself.
What do you think the solution is to solving the houseless and crime problem?
Mental health on the pediatric side so people can grow up without issues and affordable housing.
You know, none of his 266 posts ever expressed these specific opinions.
Crime problem can be addressed by having consequences. Right now, Burlington is the house that has a shit parent, allowing you to do anything and everything without consequences.
What political affiliation would you say you lean towards? Okay, that's fair. How about some of his political targets then? How has Sarah George caused these issues?
Needs to make people feel safe in Burlington again. I still feel safe in Burlington, but in the back of my mind, is there a thought that my car may get broken into and to walk with a little extra alert? Yes. People don't like that and are not used to that. Burlington's business owners have seen a direct reflection. Either the city wins or the drug addicts and homeless drive everyone away. And who's winning now?
Okay, sure, but what has she specifically done to cause these issues? I figured he'd have more knowledge on the subject, her being a constant target of his.
It is a real politician answer where he ends it with a question.
What has Joe Magee done to cause these issues?
Joe is sitting in a seat where he cannot offer any new ideas.
You know, I wondered what old ideas of his, funny enough.
There's never a specific policy. It's always because of Joe Magee's, and I have asked which specific policies they're referring to, but I haven't got an answer on that. So I offered to have coffee with the mystery person behind one of those accounts and never heard back. Just directed my way because I have advocated for more compassionate responses in Overdose Prevention Center.
We currently don't have one?
We don't. That is seen by whoever runs these accounts as encouraging public drug use. That I'm fine with the state of downtown.
So some of the things that these people are complaining about don't even exist here yet.
Yeah.
What could these two or any politicians do to fix the issue?
Progressiveness. Overly generous social welfare programs can create a culture of dependency, discouraging self-sufficiency and innovation. Burlington is decaying because of this. I don't care if you think it's contained to a few square blocks. It's bigger than that.
But how do you know that? You don't live here or work here. Thanks, private investigator, for that second bit of knowledge.
The main infection center may be a few square blocks, but it spiderwebs elsewhere and to businesses and keeps money away. The money spenders aren't coming into Burlington anymore, and that was the case well before this account.
Weird. The news has been saying otherwise, and my own fucking eyeballs. But honestly, maybe they're both wrong. Side note, I do want to look into that myself in a future video, as there have been a ton of shop thefts downtown.
So any glimpse of the current state keeps folks away. 50+ crowds.
Okay, so just getting rid of social welfare programs is all you've offered, and no specifics on what Joe and Sarah could do? I noticed you reposted something from the Lives of TikTok, which was a viral conservative post shaming a queer Vermont preschool teacher for being part of a cabaret in her spare time. Will you continue to broaden the scope of what's covered on this account?
If I post something off topic, people can just unfollow. Don't like it? Don't look at it.
I noticed he deleted the post though. I'm not sure he understood that unfollowing doesn't change the impact his post had.
I'm not here to gain followers and thrive off this.
I don't know. He seemed pretty excited recently in a story about eclipsing WCAX's followers.
It's all a joke that caught traction, and now people riot.
Okay then. We'll get back to this.
It takes 10 to 20 minutes a week to run this account. I have more followers than the Burlington Free Press. That's crazy to me. I mean, it is crazy. That's so nuts. That's so scary. He's putting no effort and time into this, and he has more followers than the Burlington Free Press.
I'm not a news outlet. I have more followers than the Burlington Free Press.
This is just so meaningless to him, and it has a huge impact on what people think.
Yeah.
He's this means nothing to me. Even if it means nothing to him, it means a lot to people that are following this account. This guy sounds crazy. definitely not me.
And that's the main reason underlining why this account fucking sucks at what it does.
It's all a joke that caught traction, and now people riot.
So, in conclusion, regardless of whether you think the content is morally wrong or accurately spreading awareness, it's not a peer, open, and free submission forum on Burlington crime. It's a joke account run by one single right-leaning moderator who doesn't live here, adding his own assumptions, comedy, and opinions that are devoid of tangible or educated info through selective framing, consistent negative churn, all for the sake of a narrative. And because it's operated so carelessly, I personally don't feel this guy has love for Burlington or truly wants the best for it. At least I can see that from some conservatives on Reddit who share a common goal of wanting to see this place be better. I mean, in his own words, it seems like seeing people riot, the spectacle of it all, and making merch sales off of it are more of a focus than...
I want nothing more than Burlington to revive and fix itself.
If that was honestly true, he'd understand the weight his account's current influence has on the conversations and mindsets around Burlington. And an actual love for the city would make him feel morally obligated to do something to balance its more dangerous, say, chaotic aspects. Speaking from experience. I definitely know he cares about it being popular though, as he once messaged me to promote it, and when I declined, he proceeded to unfollow, make fun of me, and troll my stories for the next few months. Then in one day, I got about 30 messages from close friends and random followers, not to mention seeing a ton of story posts saying the account followed them. And I know this is speculation, so take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like he went through my account and added a bunch of my followers to boost his page.
I'm not here to gain followers.
Straight weirdo shit. So if you still want to follow it and trust someone like this will deliver content to you unfiltered, or maybe you're simply too entranced by its sunk cost fallacy, I honestly don't blame you, hate you, or judge you. I get it. I want to be safe here too. I want to be informed. I want solutions. You know, I feel for the houseless, but sometimes they affect me too. It is human to feel compassion fatigue, and I don't judge some people for feeling like they're at their wits' end. I also get that the voyeurism of it is captivating to just not look at, you know, like a car crash. But for me specifically, this shit ain't it. But actually, investigating this has made me want to dive more into why this is happening and what or who might be causing it. From the dining room, I'm Jonny Wanzer, and I'll see you outside.